Okay, if we start off at the very top of our panel, we have our DVD player here, and right to the left of that we have our water level. Below that we have our CD player, and this does some other things as well. You can enter a CD right there. You also have your function button, CD, satellite radio, which you have to sign up for membership for that, AM, FM, and iPod auxiliary. iPod auxiliary is this port right here. You need a male-to-male headphone jack, and then you can plug in an iPod or your phone, and then you can charge it from here as well, so that's really nice. Here's your CD changer, and you can eject this and load your CDs in there. One thing to note on the stereo, up on the helm of the boat there is a rubber button to the left of the wheel that has a picture of a speaker on it. The stereo will not work, even if you turn everything on down here, the stereo will not work unless you press that button up at the helm. Your other stereo button is here under 12 volt. You need to turn that one on, and then the one at the helm to get the stereo working. Okay, here is your 120 volt panel. The 120 volt panel is anything that is going to run off of shore power when you're at the dock or when you're running the generator. Right now you can see we're at 120 volts here because we have the shore power on. If we turn off the shore power, you'll notice that goes dead. At this point you could start the generator. You would come down here, turn on the bilge blower, let that run for about a minute, then you would hold down the generator start stop, and there it is, it started. Now that it's started, you can go back here, you can push this slide over, turn it on, we're back to 120 volt. To turn off the generator, you simply press the button again on the top. Things that you have on your 120 volt. You have outlets inside the boat, your refrigerator, your microwave, your water heater, and you have an accessory switch here that you could add something if you wanted. Your air conditioning is here as well, and the control for the air conditioning is right around that corner there. You also have your stove top, and you have your battery charger. I believe this accessory switch is running the barbecue outside. So let's go ahead and go back on shore power. Now if you notice, if you look at your 12 volt panel and your 120 volt panel, you have refrigerator on both panels. The reason for that is when you're out and about, you want to run it on 12 volt so it runs on the ship's power. Once you have the generator running or you get to the dock, you can switch over to 120, but you don't want to run them both at once. It won't hurt anything, it's just not how it's supposed to be done. When you're at the dock and you've plugged into shore power, you always want to make sure that you have on your battery charger and your refrigerator. Never turn on your water heater unless you're going to use it. Moving down to 12 volt, 12 volt is everything that runs off of a traditional car type battery. You have your cabin lights here. Your refrigerators will run on this switch here when you're off shore power. Your fresh water pump, which is used for all the sinks and the toilet. And when you turn on the fresh water pump, and the heads, I believe just the fresh water pump, then you can come up here and check the level of the tank. Right now it's empty because we're going to be shipping this boat, so we don't want any water in there. Power vent, I believe that's for over the stove top. That's here. 12 volt receptacles are here. Your head system, which makes the toilet flush, that's there. It's a very simple panel. All you have to remember is that 120 volt runs anything that's that you'd find in your house. 12 volt runs anything that you'd find in a car. Here's your ignitions, and you need to have those switched on. So as you board the boat, the first thing you would do is you would come here to your battery switches and turn them to the on position. Then you would come down here and you would turn on the ignition switches there. You would come up to the helm and you would fire off your engines one at a time so you can hear them start. Okay, why are we not starting? Check the shifters. Shifters were not in neutral, so it didn't want to start. There we go. And now the other one. Okay. Here's that stereo button I was talking about that needs to be on. Here's all your lighting. for the whole boat, as well as your dimmer switch for the dash. Your anchor is here. You need to turn this on. This is your windlass anchor. You turn it on the top, then you can go up and down. Here's your hatch lift button that will lift up the hatch. Just make sure you disconnect all the camper canvas before you do that, because you could get in a little bit of problem otherwise. Also, make sure the cockpit door is in the open position when you go to do this. Your trim tabs are here, and you have accessory switches here. Also, you have an emergency start. If you're out and you run one of your batteries down sitting on anchor listening to the stereo, you can press one engine and the emergency start at the same time. It will jump over a battery from the house batteries and allow you to start up your refrigerator. Or excuse me, start up your engines. Here we have your SmartCraft, and this will take some fiddling, but I'll show you the basics. You want to go to Vessel, and when you're at Vessel, this is the most important thing. You have a rudder indicator, and when you're taking off, you want to make sure that that's at 0. Radar or GPS screen, which you can add radar to, you turn on here. And it'll come on and it'll give you a little spiel. You push that, and now you have your screens. Here we have a autopilot function, a virtual highway, telemetry, and then you have where we're at right here. When you get it home, add a chip in here. Go to West Marine and get a chip, and it'll give you a lot more detail. If you want to change the view, you go to Page. All the different pages will come up down here, and you can press one of those and it'll change to the different pages that it has. Okay, that's about it. If you have anything else, any questions, feel free to let me know. Give me a call anytime and I'll be happy to help you. Thanks again for your business, and I look forward to seeing you up there in the Inside Passage, hopefully sometime this summer. Thanks again. Bye-bye.